And welcome back, everyone. I'm Unstable, joined here by Railking for game number 2 here of Group G for the FX Open Invitational Series. We're into game number 2 now between FXOLowely and TSLSymbol. Cloud Kingdom will be the map. Let's jump straight into it and see if Lowly can tie up the score, shall we? We have Symbol down here at the bottom left-hand corner as our red Zerg. And then up here at the top right, we have FXOLowely as our yellow Zerg. Now, Lowly did have an advantage in the early game after the opening of Symbol, but he just caught completely off guard by those infestors, lost so much supply, and he just had zero chance of defending against a counter-attack from Symbol. So let's see if he can change things up this time, shall we?
Yeah, Lowly should have been in a position where he had control of the game, and then he just didn't make a layer for a really long time. And then Symbol suddenly had control with his Infestor account and then just used them very well to win the game. So hopefully Lowly will play a little bit better with his tech transitions this game, because I feel like that's really what got him last in the first match. So we see, looks like a 12 pool from Lowly this time. So once again, a little bit of an odd pool timing. That wasn't an over pool because he actually made an extra drone first. And Symbol, it looks like, is just going to go hatch first on Daybreak. Not that uncommon.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty, so what's going to happen here? Symbol obviously going for that hatch first, as you were saying, but really the 12 pool, he's actually going to get speed with it as well. This could actually work out quite well. If it doesn't outright kill Symbol, it might actually give him a really strong advantage, but it's going to come down to how well he controls it. He was a little bit indecisive last time. So.
I think the 12 pool in this instance really only serves to protect against a really aggressive pool timing, because the 12 pool is coming late enough that it's not that far off of a pool timing, and Symbol should be able to hold early aggression from it, as long as he plays really safe, which, I mean, he went hatch first, he's going to be playing safe. So I honestly don't expect this to do a really significant amount of damage, and then Symbol will be in a good position, so... that's the only thing I can think of, is that he was expecting Symbol to do a really fast pool again, so he went for that 12 pool just to get a few more drones out.
Yeah. Alright, so Ling speed on the way. No real Lings after these first few that have come out now for Lowly. He's only going to have 6 of them. 6 Lings on the way now for Symbol. They won't have, or neither one of them will have speed, technically. We do have a Baneling nest on the way for Lowly, though, so he wants to be really aggressive with this. He is moving across. He will see the hatchery, but there's double Queen coming out now for Symbol. He's going to have 10 Zerglings of his own. Looking at the vision here, he has no idea what's going on. He must have spotted those Zerglings with the Overlord as it was coming down the ramp.
Yeah, he did.
And Lowly is forced to actually back off here. Like, he's going to try and hit on this hatchery, but he can't like straight up engage here.
Yeah, now he's going for the Baneling nest, but again, this would have been much more powerful before the change to the Queens. Now that they have the range, coming in with a smaller number of Banelings isn't going to do as much damage as it would before, because you can snipe the Banelings with the Queens. So this isn't actually looking very good for Lowly right now. He's got 5 Banelings on the way up, right outside the natural, but both Queens are in position to block the ramp. He's got the Spine Crawler over here to hit any Banelings who try to force their way up there as well. And there's no drones down here. There's one drone down in the natural. But then Symbol realizes, oh, okay, well, I'll just turn that into a Spine Crawler.
Yeah.
And now there's nothing for these Banelings to do. There's not even any larva for him to blow up, which would be the other thing you could do with Banelings.
Well, he's actually trading quite well.
There, but,
yeah. Is he going to make it through this ramp? I don't think there's slightly too few Zerglings to make it through that ramp. We do see more on the way now, but look at those Queens. They're actually going to have enough energy to transfuse each other in a second, just before these extra Zergling shops. So Lowly just slightly too late onto those reinforcement timings to break up this ramp.
Also, the other problem is that even if he tries to reinforce here, he's fighting against 2 hatches worth of Zerglings when he only has the 1. Even with speed, that's very difficult to overcome. He's making Banelings, but he's making them out in the center of the map, so they have a decent amount of walk time. Zergling speed is going to finish in a second for Symbol, so he's going to be able to defend against the Banelings a little bit easier now, and the Queens just transfuse each other and are almost all the way back up to full health again. Banelings once again have absolutely no targets, and this is just extremely frustrating for Lowly, and just really well played by Symbol.
Well, the Spine Crawler isn't up yet, however... Oh, he needs to be careful. He does lose pretty much all of his new Zerglings to that one Baneling. The Spine Crawler is up, not in range though. Now, What Lowly can do is he can actually target down this Spinecrawler with the Banelings and the Zerglings, which is exactly what he's doing right now. He needs to be careful of these extra units coming down, though. Oh my god. 1
he
HP.
Went over and misclicked and actually used some of the Banelings on the hatchery out of range of the Spinecrawler. And that is really crucial, because if they were just maybe a centimeter to the right, Spinecrawler would have gone down. And he's still trying to reinforce this, but at this point, I don't know why. He really needs to be trying to switch out of it. I think he feels that he's committed at this point, but it's just not going to work if he keeps trying to throw Zerglings at the problem. At this point, Symbol's natural is defended well enough. They're actually... There's a Spinecrawler in place. Second one on the way. Roach Warren is coming, so there's going to be roaches out in a second. Lowly is just in a really tough spot, and I don't know how he can get through this. Unless Symbol just moves his queens and he gets free access to the drone line for some reason.
Well, he can target down the hatchery if he wants to actually even things out, which is exactly what he's going to do. We got 6 roaches on the way now for Symbol. Now, with that hatchery down, that pretty much does even things out. We got 15 drones to 20, but Lowly should really take this opportunity to expand now, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Looking at this drone coming down now, he's got a lot of Zerglings still on the field. If he catches these roaches out of position, it might work out well as well. But needs to be really careful.
He's seen the roaches now, so this is going to become an issue. Like, yeah, how many roaches does he have? Does he have units back to defend? And look at this, Symbol's playing very smart. He's going to make a Baneling nest, make a few defensive Banelings, and then move out with the roaches, which is probably the best thing he can do in this situation. Because with the number of Zerglings he's seen, he knows that his opponent is being hyper-aggressive on one hatch, so he's trying to expand right now. So the roaches are actually quite good, but only if he has units back home to defend. So he's going to take these Zerglings that are in production, Baneling them up, and then run across the field with... He'd probably want a few more roaches if he was going to do that, though.
Well, there is a high chance of him being completely surrounded by these Zerglings, but looks like he's going to back off after he comes down the bottom of that ramp. We do have Zerglings at home now. He's actually going to completely wall off his ramp here, just in case of a run by. He's going to go with those Zerglings as well. He's actually running straight into the Zerglings of Lowly, though, and Lowly is going to engage here. He might actually get a full surround. No, he's decided against it. With those extra few Zerglings there, the DPS will be enough to clean those out. So both of them now having their hatches back up and running. Lowly does have his Roach Warren now.
Yeah, without the extra roaches, though, Lowly can hold this off without any issues. So it looks like Symbol is just trying to apply pressure, but that is a lot of Banelings for Symbol. So this becomes the really, really dangerous part for Symbol. Attacking in here actually becomes very dangerous, because all of those Banelings can die to 2 from Lowly. And how many times have you seen that happen? It's actually quite a bit more common than you'd expect. So the Banelings are to come in. This is a strong attack, but he has to make sure a Baneling trade doesn't happen, and Lowly just wastes his Banelings. So that's not actually going to be a case. More Banelings coming in. Nice reaction from Symbol to make sure an unfavorable trade does not occur. And now that his Banelings are coming in, they still haven't done any good amount of damage. But there are some more coming in, trying to defend against the Zerglings. But Lowly is actually holding this quite well.
Yeah, the extra Zerglings coming home and some transfuses on those queens has really helped him do that. He is now ahead. Whoop. He is now even on drone count. Actually, no, he's going to drop severely behind his 11 drones just made by Symbol. Symbol also going to that lair tech, whereas Lowly once again a little bit slower on that. So
that was really good micro from Lowly. He had his Zerglings dancing around like they were on some energy drinks or something. I don't know what kind of brand, but I want some. They were darting in and out on top of the Banelings, so that every time a Baneling blew up, it only killed 2 or 3. But they were just swarming them relentlessly, not allowing Symbol to get them away. And it was just actually impressive control there to take all those Banelings out, and that really made a huge difference in that attack.
Looks like Lowly's trying to think about moving forward in here, but realizing it's a bad idea, as we do have, of course, 1 Baneling and more roaches coming out for Symbol. And Lowly is now ahead in the drone count by 3. His lair has been started as well. Still a little bit slower than Symbol's. However, he does have map control at the moment with his large number of Zerglings.
Oh, Lowly was not paying attention. He almost walked all of those Zerglings right into that Baneling. He did realize it at the last second, but it was quite close there for a second. And If we look at it, you know, the layer is almost done for Lowly, and the difference in layer timings isn't actually going to be as big this game around. So I don't think we're going to see that situation where he's just like super far behind and can't do anything. Lowly definitely has a better chance in this game because he has, like I was saying at the beginning of the game, he's been doing a better job with the tech transitions, realizing when he needs to switch into the different techs, realizing he has the opportunity, and just generally playing a little bit better. Maybe he just didn't get an opportunity to warm up before this match or something.
Well, he did have his, just throw down his infestation a bit right on top of that Overseer. The Overseer will barely get away as the Queen just does move off creep. But we do have Roaches and one Baneling moving across here. Looks like he wants to put pressure on that third. At the same time, Lowly's coming in to put pressure on the third of Symbols. He's going to get the Spine Crawler down, but there's only one Baneling coming in to defend. Oh, but is he going to get most of these Zerglings?
Oh.
He does get half of them.
That was really scary. It looks like he was actually going to get all of them. Then last second reaction from Lowly, once again. Like, that's what he was doing that entire last fight with his Zerglings. Just dancing on the edge, just flirting with danger. He does finally get cleared out by those Roaches. But Symbol's third hatch was forced to be canceled there. So that's going to put Lowly in a nice position. Lowly actually going for the pathogen glands for his infestors before Symbol even manages to make the infestation pit this time around. So if he can get a good number of infestors out, he's going to have control of the game this time.
Yeah, well, Symbol is moving across the map, and as you were saying, there are going to be infestors for Lowly, especially with that third base up and running this entire time. Symbol is actually going to lose an Overlord here, and it's actually going to supply cap him.
Oh, really?
And there's not another Overlord on the way, so that's actually quite frustrating to have happened to him just then. However, we do have Roaches coming in to the third base. Has been spotted by Lowly with his great Overlord positioning yet again. Looking at the upgrades.
This is a lot of Roaches, but not quite enough to break through this. It was one of the things that Symbol was hoping for, but he took a kind of a long route around to the third base. If he had maybe taken a more direct route, he might have been able to apply enough pressure on that to kind of scare Lowly. But now the infestors are popping out. They have energy. If he comes in, there's going to be just a huge fungal that rips him apart. So he did see that infestation pit. So attacking into this is going to be quite dangerous. But it looks like he's still going to do it. Oh, and here comes the fungal. Oh, my God.
And +2 is about to finish up for Lowly here as well now. But he does not have the entire roach count. He needs more whoa, he does get that fungal off just as that infestor pops out. Reinforcement roach is coming down for Lowly now. Does have 10 more in production. And there we go. +2 is just finished up for Lowly now, so we will be able to even things out here as half of these roaches can't actually fight. And he will have the reinforcement advantage. He will hold this, yes, as you were saying, of course. However, he did lose a few drones, but he has the upgrade advantage now.
Yeah, he also had the third going for a little bit longer, so losing the drones isn't really too big of a difference because he had a big drone lead anyway. And Symbol is still actually fighting this against the superior upgrades. A little bit surprised. Gave away quite a few more roaches there than he needed to, especially since he doesn't have any infestors. He needs to hang on to every roach that he can right now. Throwing away roaches is not the thing to be doing. For all he knows, there could be more infestors with fungals on the way. There aren't. There's only the two trying to recharge energy, but at this point you have to expect that there's more infestors. But I mean, Lowly with the drone advantage is still just making more roaches. He has the better upgrades. Symbol is still rallying in roaches, and even without those fungals, he's losing.
Yeah, exactly. And now Symbol completely on the back foot. He's decided to drone up behind this. Not sure if that's going to work out too well for him, though, because Lowly should realize what's going on and actually move out across the map very shortly. And I think that's exactly what he's going to do here, Railcoon, because he has the roach numbers 28 to 9. He has 2 fungals. He has the upgraded, well, he's going to lose his upgrade advantage in a second. But if he moves in and takes out this third again, I don't see Symbol being able to come back in this game.
He's also going to have Burrow, and not a large amount of time, which against no Burrow, again, that's a thing. Is there any detection for Symbol? I don't see any detection. So he could use the burrow micro just to make his roaches even more effective. He's not going to wait for that, but he should wait for these 2 infestors at the very least. Yeah, there we go. Does dance backwards, let the infestors catch out. Nice job by Symbol making sure he doesn't get hit by a huge fungal, but there's just so many roaches.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter at this point. He's going to charge straight in here, rip through the army. There's nothing he can do.
Yeah, there's the GG. So Lowly will tie things up here for the opening match for Group G for the FX Open Invitational Series. We will be right back with our next game to see who advances into the winners match for this group.